Welcome back to our monthly mastermind marketing meeting. It's our monthly marketing meeting, and we're here to tee up for you what we have in place for you to use in September. We know that if you market and you're consistent, that things happen. And one of the problems that advisors run into over the years is they kind of fall out of the habit of communicating and marketing on a regular basis. And it doesn't have to be a huge thing, but when you do, you put stuff out in the world, it causes things to happen. It comes back to you. It's this kind of like spooky science or whatever. Marketing can be viewed like that. And so anyway, we get together each month to make sure that you guys are on track, and we want to help you succeed by helping you succeed with your clients. And so I'm here with Devin Kropp, and we're going to talk about September. Devin, when we have these meetings with everybody, we start broadly because portions of this are being broadcast to other people and who might not be part of the horse's mouth world. But then we get to the middle part where we start talking about specific September and October marketing activities, and then we get into member questions. So we start broad, something that will be of interest to everyone. And Devin, you've picked a topic this month that certainly has had my attention recently, maybe not exactly recently, but for a couple of years. So I'll throw it over to you for a second.
Okay, thanks, Sean. Today we are going to be talking about how to use artificial intelligence tools, things like ChatGPT, to boost our marketing or kind of help build our content marketing library. Because I know, we talk in these monthly meetings a lot about creating content to send out, whether that's using our horse's mouth content or creating content on your own. And we know that it is a pain point of many advisors to have the time to sit down and build all of this original content to share with clients and prospects. So there are tools out there now that can not do it for us, but at least provide us with a starting point, so we can kind of create more original content on our own, and help with some of our other marketing initiatives. So today we could spend all day talking about AI and marketing, but I really want to focus today on creating content using AI tools to help create drafts of content that you can then share with clients and prospects, whether that's via email, on social media, on your website, all of that. So I think to start, we'll talk about creating newsletter and blog posts. I know usually when we survey advisors, most advisors don't have an active blog, or if they do, it's not regular. Most do send out newsletters on a regular basis, but for the most part, those newsletters are either they're borrowing content from other places, and most of it doesn't necessarily contain original content. But many advisors that I do work with, an advisor client or who come to our workshops, do voice, the idea of wanting to have time to write their own newsletters or send out their own content. And I think a tool like ChatGPT or any other AI chat tool can really help in this process of, how do I, number one, brainstorm ideas, and number two, come up with a working draft that I can then edit with my own kind of, voice and content to send out to my clients and prospects. So I think number one, we can use it as a brainstorming tool. So if you're kind of stuck, I don't even know what I should be writing my blog or my newsletter about, you can prompt the tools to kind of come up with just general titles or ideas, especially if you have like a niche that you work from, or, a specific topic that you want to talk about. Something, for example, say you want to talk about Social Security planning, you can ask the tool to come up with, five ideas around Social Security planning that would make a good blog post. And you can start, with kind of working titles from there. Once you have one that you like, you can also take it a step further and have the tool kind of come up with a draft for you. And then you can get, you can have it edit those drafts and really revise it to fit exactly what you want. So if you want certain keywords to be in there, you can ask it to do that. If you want it to link to certain websites, it can do that for you. But it can really at least give you a healthy draft to work from. Of course, you're going to want to go through and edit it yourself and make sure that the information is up to date, because a lot of these tools don't have the most current laws and regulations. They go back to a certain year. So of course you want to make sure that everything in there is accurate. And you probably want to edit a little bit to have your own personal voice in there at some level, but it will give you a really great starting point. So instead of spending hours going through the process of brainstorming, writing, revising, and publishing, you can kind of skip ahead to that last step where you're just revising and editing to make sure it's accurate and for it to fit your own voice. So I think that's a really great opportunity for advisors to be using these tools, is kind of brainstorm these blog posts or newsletter content, things that you're going to want to send out on a regular basis that you don't necessarily have the time to sit down and write the full thing and brainstorm the full thing on your own.
Devin, can I just share something with everybody here?
Of course.
So I'm going to share my screen. And what you're seeing now is something called Claude. It's an artificial intelligence agent or robot tool, whatever, large language model, actually, I think is the technical term, offered by a company called Anthropic. And literally, as Devin was just writing, giving us the lead in to this segment, I quickly typed, Claude, I'd like to write an article about healthcare planning and retirement. Can you give me 5 ideas for a blog post about this topic? Answer like you're a journalist. That's an important aspect of prompting. It's a whole world. We can go into more. But anyway, just to give you an idea of what came up instantly, the importance of planning ahead for healthcare costs. And the first sentence, because it's just giving us ideas now, right? As people live longer in retirement, healthcare costs are becoming one of the biggest expenses. Planning ahead by estimating costs, looking into supplemental insurance, and using tax advantage accounts can help retirees prepare for future medical needs. Then it gives us another idea. Know your Medicare options. Then it says Medicare, Medigap, Part D. Another one about health savings account, retirement planning tool. The 4th one, maintaining health and wellness. So that's going in a different direction. It's not getting into the nitty-gritty stuff. And then the 5th item, long-term care protection. With advancing age comes increased need for assistance. Anyway, I don't know how many of you have experimented around with the vast array of artificial intelligence that's actually being now infused into all of the tech stacks that we all use. If you haven't noticed it yet, it's going to be coming, and it is going to be a tidal wave. It's going to be showing up in everything. So you won't need in the future to go to something like Claude. You may have Microsoft 365, and there'll be a button that says, help me write. And you hit the button, then you give it a prompt, and away you go. So anyway, Devin, back to you. I just wanted to do a quick
thank you for pulling that up. That's exactly what I was stage. This is a great way to get you out of that stage. And again, you can take it a step further and have it help you write as well. But in addition to those newsletters and blog posts, other things you can use these tools for, social media posts, social media ads can be a great kind of area here. Again, this is something that you probably don't want to spend too much of your time regularly writing social media posts and ads. And if you don't have someone on your team to help you with that, this is a great way to kind of outsource this to technology. You can, give the article that you want to share, have them write, a quick little post. And the great thing about these tools is that if you specify what social media platform it's for, they know the character limits, and it will limit the number of characters that are there. And another area I think this is great for too, around the idea of social media ads and just content in general, is if you're looking to do video, it can help you write a video script for your either ads or kind of organic videos that you want to share on your website or your YouTube channel. You can again prompt it like we just did, Sean just showed with the blog post, and it can actually help you write a video script that you can then work from. And this again can help for those ads. If you want to be running video ads and you're not quite sure, you want to talk right off the cuff, if you want to have a script, this is a great place to start. And again, if you even want to do videos for your website or YouTube channel, again, this can help not only brainstorm those ideas, but come up with a great script. And actually, before we just got on this call, Doug was telling me about an AI video tool that you can basically have it create the entire video for you. So there's stock video clip, music. There's actually an AI narrator voice where you can give it the script and it will do the whole thing for you. So Doug, yeah, it's in video. Thank you, Doug. You just shared that there. So again, we're going to see kind of more of these tools come out and really just be there creating this content for you. But if you still want to use your own voice, your own image in the video, you can just have it do the script for you and work from that too. So I think that's a great opportunity as well. If you're someone who's been maybe struggling with getting video out there, you don't know where to start, you can have a script kind of written for you. And then lastly, another area that we see, I see opportunity here is helping you revise website content, especially if you want to incorporate more search engine optimization or keywords into your website content. Again, these are kind of tasks that probably have been on your list for a while to do, but maybe you don't have the time or someone on your team to do it for you. You can copy and paste your about me into one of these AI tools and basically ask the tool to critique it and kind of give you revisions to help it. Again, I'm not saying you copy and paste exactly from what it spits out and throw it on your website, but it can help you think critically about what you have posted there and how you can maybe make it a little bit better. And again, if you know what keywords you want to include in your website, you can tell the tool those keywords and it will help rewrite the content that already exists to be a little bit more optimized for those keywords as well.
Yeah, I asked in the chat box, I don't know if everybody saw it or not, to just indicate if you've used on a regular basis any of the AI GPT programs that are out there. Just a couple of you said yes. We're going to be doing a lot more on this going forward because in the 20 years I've been in this business, of course, really, our world, our profession's filled with people who are, you're basically, financial entrepreneurs. And always have had more to do than you have time in the day. And, we've had a lot of conversations over the years about assistance and getting people to help with some of your marketing or so on and so forth. And the way to treat these virtual engine these artificial intelligence platforms is to treat them like an intern or an assistant, like a virtual assistant. And once you start building it into your daily practice, and you learn a few things about how to engage it, ask it questions, give it a little direction, you can achieve a lot more. And it's really, can be high quality stuff ultimately. And of course, it's just a matter of what it is that you're doing. I'm not saying it doesn't do math very well, and maybe that'll be solved someday. It hallucinates is the phrase they use in terms of making things up. So there are areas where you can work with it very confidently, and there are other areas where you would need to be careful about it. But once you get in and start using it and learn some things, this is so big. To me, it's the biggest thing since the internet. I think it was the head of Microsoft says it's the biggest thing since electricity. And I know these sound like huge, grandiose statements, but I have been, following it for about 2 years now, back when ChatGPT was 2.0, and I started messing around because I heard that they've created this thing and you could give it some information, it would write some paragraphs for you. So I started looking at it in December of 2021, and then took my eye off it until last March when ChatGPT 3 came out. And that kind of led to this current explosion that we're in. Anyway, we'll discuss it more in the future. There's huge potential here. And there are also so many tools that have the artificial intelligence underpinnings, substrate, that can do all sorts of incredible things. So we're talking like text to text. You can engage this thing. I mean, here's the key thing about it that people need to understand and why this is so big and different. I would venture to guess that maybe some of you can write some Excel macros, but most of you probably can. And I don't think any of you, including myself, know how to program computers. But what has happened now with this advance of these generative pre-trained transformers is what they call them, created a new, they've opened the door. And so all of us using natural language, right? Just writing sentences like, please do this, act as a journalist. We're programming these computers. And so all the barriers to programming, like, oh my God, C:\\/ and it's a dark black screen and you got to type all these things. And if you don't end this in parentheses or quotation marks or whatever, you don't get anywhere. It's like, right, very, it's something about computer programming, that it's, it is challenging. Now that's all eliminated because now you can tell the computer, do this for me, and you just use plain English. And when you just learn a few things, you can really get going. And by the way, if you are interested in Excel macros, you can ask it to write macros for you, or you can take a macro that's not working and you can ask it, just drop it in there and say, well, this macro is not working for me. I think I made a mistake. What's up? Boom, gives you the answer. Anyway, enough of that for now, I think, Devin, right?
No, that was great. Yeah. So there's a lot of opportunity here for your content marketing and beyond. But again, if you've been struggling with, how do I have the time to do these things? Try to outsource some of it and see, where you get, because I think it can make a really big difference in the content that you are able to create, on your own.
Yeah. And as we go forward, we're going to be developing, like, I'm preparing some stuff for our master members, and I'm going to be looking at very specific use cases. Like, so we've just touched on a couple here, but there's a lot more use cases in your daily, day-to-day practice management where you can get things done at a better level, faster, higher quality. There are, booby traps in there to look out for, but you can learn, once you learn and understand those, it's fine. And as one of the, AI gurus that I've been following says, the current artificial intelligence tools we have access now to are as, this is the minimum. It's like this stuff is growing and getting faster and better every single day. And by huge stretches of huge leaps are being made. We really are seeing, what's referred to as exponential growth. And so you got 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, right? These kinds of things, like they recently did they were able to, you could type in some text and describe a video that you wanted, and it could produce 4 seconds of video. That was like 3 months ago. Now it can produce 16 seconds of video. But by December, you're going to be able to write to the computer and, produce 5 minutes of video. By this time next year, you might be able to write a full-length Pixar quality animated movie. Anyway, enough, Devin.
Okay. We are going to move into our September and October marketing activities. So when we met last month, we talked a little bit about what we're doing in September, which is right now, we're in the first week of it. Our theme in our master member marketing calendar is for healthcare planning. So we did talk a little bit last month about the article reprint, which is, do you need to sign up for Medicare at 65 if you're still working? But today I actually wanted to show another resource that's part of the calendar that we haven't really talked about in these meetings before. I just want to make sure everyone is aware of them. And these are our monthly client letters that are written by Charles Sherry and are available for you to download and edit and send out as a kind of monthly touch. September's just came out today, so it was perfect timing for me to bring this up, and it fits in with our monthly theme as well. So it's all about retirement healthcare issues. And when you go to the article, it was in the Daily Oats today as well. It will actually give you instructions on how to download the file, customize it, and use it. But you can also kind of scroll down and just read the whole letter here. It's pretty comprehensive. And again, you're free to use this as it's written, or if you want to take portions of it or edit it in any way, you're free to do that too. This is part of our calendar again, but we haven't really spent much time showing it off. So I just wanted to make sure that you were aware that this exists. If you, again, like you want to do a monthly newsletter, but you don't have that time to write it, this can kind of fill in that space, again, as either inspiration, or you can just, send it out as is. So this is something that's available every single month. Charles Sherry writes it for us every month. And we, as soon as it becomes live, we do link to it on the marketing calendar. So you can always check there for it, but it's always the lead daily in your daily oats as well, the day that it comes out. So this is something for this month that I just wanted to bring to everyone's attention in case you haven't used it before or didn't know that it existed. So it fits in with our theme, again, of healthcare planning. You send out the article reprint and this touch, and then do our, Savvy Medicare presentations. You have a really great healthcare marketing month for September there. And then we also like to look ahead to the next month in these meetings. And we do have a really important piece that I want to bring up that we recommend getting ready right now. So
Kevin, can I interrupt just for a second?
Of course.
Sorry, because we're also recommending the webinar for September on managing healthcare expenses in retirement. And I just wanted to show people that because
yeah, great.
Just to give you a quick visual, because this is like your master members are out there, you have access to this sort of thing. And this is basically Medicare, as a Savvy Medicare presentation, okay? Starts off with, if you don't enroll, we pay the penalty. It's got 3 key points in the beginning, and then Elaine kind of takes you deep into it, but doesn't overwhelm you too much. Anyway, it's a nice looking presentation. People really enjoy it. And, your clients are constantly baffled by the world of Medicare. And so I just wanted to throw up the visual there and let people see that before we go on to something we really like to talk about, which is the last chance financial planning checklist.
Yes. So this checklist is scheduled to go out in October, but I really wanted to spend some time on it today because when you get off this call today, you should go and download your PDF and get it printed because you want to have this ready to go at the end of the month or the beginning of October. So I'm going to show this checklist to everyone here. This is the PDF version of it. Our master members and our AC members have a free PDF that they can go access and download. If you're not a member, you can also purchase this product on its own. But this is something that you absolutely want to send out in the next month because it is designed to help bring in business at year end. It's a great communication touch to send out to clients and prospects right around now when they have questions and they're thinking about year-end planning and they want to, check off things they want to discuss with you. It goes through, these key kind of financial planning topics and, you send it out and the client can sit down at the table and decide, yes, I've had some change on this, or I have questions about these topics and I need to talk to my advisor about it. Send it out to prospects too, because maybe something in their life or situation changed and now they realize they need to talk to an advisor, and you can be top of mind by sending out something like this. So we can quickly go through it. You'll see here it touches on taxes, retirement, investments, insurance, milestones, ages, and actions need to be taken at these ages. This is great, again, to send to prospects because they might say, you know what, I am turning 65 next year and I have absolutely no idea what to do about Medicare. Let me schedule a meeting. We go into health, and then on the backside, there's, general life changes, family, place for notes and next steps. So if they do come in for that meeting, this is something they can continue to fill out in the meeting. And then also a place for them to update their other professionals. So if you're looking to build kind of referral relationships or these strategic alliances, this is a great place to kind of get those names from your clients. So you already have a client in common. It's a great place here. This is where your disclosure would be. So, it's all kind of compliance ready for you to submit. But this is one of our most popular handouts and something that we really push sending out. I think you definitely want to send out hard copies of this. This is a great piece for someone to get and hold in their hands. And you can also follow up with a PDF. Then in addition to just the checklist, we actually built an entire PowerPoint presentation around this where you can actually schedule kind of a last chance checklist meeting with all of your clients and prospects at once and, go over these different areas, have them come onto the meeting, bring their checklists with them, and you talk kind of, in depth about some of these areas. Of course, you're not going to have time to cover every single point, but you can pick the areas that you think are going to be of most interest to your clients and prospects. We had one of our master members do this a few years ago now, kind of inspired us to come up with these kind of what we call client action webinars. Was based on this handout. She did it at like 8 o'clock in the morning, I think, and said, bring your coffee, sign on to this webinar. And she had like 30 of her clients come on and fill out this checklist as a group, and then schedule those follow-up meetings with her, or think of referrals based on some of the things that they were talking about. So this is a great kind of casual presentation you can do for your clients in the morning. It could be an easy webinar or lunch and learn, where they can come on and kind of spur them to take the action of actually filling out this checklist and scheduling that meeting with you. So I'd say this is probably one of our most popular handouts for good reason. And now you want to spend some time now downloading it, getting your copies printed and getting it ready to send out. So you're kind of hitting those mailboxes in a few weeks.
Yeah, and I just want to remind everybody that, of course, you can print this through Horse's Mouth. However, you can also just download the PDF and go down the Staples or whatever the copy center is and get it printed on a 110-pound stock card. I think it's like 30 cents a piece or something like that. And you can print as many as you like, and you can get it, the job done, within a day. So anybody, who has access to these things, everybody gets the high-res PDF. And of course, you can always order hard copies through us. But again, you can, there are other ways to do it as well. Some of you might even have your own copier. So there's that as well. But it is amazing that advisors who put this in front of their clients, it's the last chance, meaning it's the last quarter, right? So we're in September, we're already advancing what you guys should be thinking about for October, right? And so to get this in front of your clients in the final quarter of the year, and then maybe you do that little action webinar like Devin is recommending, or not, whatever. But people go through, read these questions and say, yeah, right, my advisor, he's on the job. He is he is making sure that we're not missing anything, that we're on top of this, that he knows what's going on in our lives that relates to our finances. And this is the opportunity for you to convey that information back to the advisor, outside of the normal regular meetings that you may have. So I think that's why people do like it so much, is that you're delivering value by virtue of putting this in front of your clients, and then emphasizing it in your newsletters, whatever, between now and the end of the year as well. Just don't do it once and forget about mentioning it. It's like, hey, you're doing this. This is a big push. It's like a little client campaign you have in the last quarter of the year. Make sure that before the year ends, that there are opportunities for us to make some moves in the portfolios or taxes or whatever the case may be, based on things that have transpired in the previous 12 months that haven't been caught by you or your team in the lives of your clients. So anyway, that's a good one. Thanks, Devin.
Yep. And then also, I just wanted to quickly mention, for the month of October, we also have our key planning and investment deadline postcard for the fall. So those are those quarterly postcards that we create for you that have all of the key investment deadlines that people need to know about, as well as some of those more fun kind of holidays that people need to mark their calendar for. So that is available for October as well.
All right.
And that brings us to session session 3. I did see a question come in quickly about where you get last chance. So if you are a master member or advisor client member, you can go into the Master Member Center or the advisor client website, and I will put a link to that in the chat. If you're not a member, again, we do have that for sale separately. So I'll link to both for everyone.
All right. Good. All right. Ready for part 3, Devin?
Yep.
All right. Part 3, member questions. And this is an interesting one. Devin, what are the best open-ended questions to ask a prospect to move the discussion